Hello, Miss Metzler here. I just wanted to provide you with a little slideshow video to go over in just a little more detail the assignment coming up. So first of all, you might be wondering, Miss Metzler, why do we need to do another essay? Well, I'll tell you. The last trimester, well, each trimester we need to do a major writing assignment. That is something that is supported by our curriculum development and will make you a better writer overall. And we need to assess certain things about your writing. In the original arrangement of this trimester, I had you guys doing that writing assignment through writing a business letter. But you guys, we just didn't have time to get through that. We basically had the curriculum cut in half. And so I had to really change things up to make sure we got a writing project in that fit in with the work that we were doing on Romeo and Juliet. So that's why the change up. No, I was not lying to you when I told you you only would have to do one major essay in the year because we had to change things up and had to eliminate another writing assignment for this trimester. So the writing assignment is an essay. The other reason I'm providing you this little video is that I understand that the assignment description is rather long and complicated. And so I wanted to make sure that you had just a little boost there. So you definitely want to make sure you read that assignment word for word. You also want to make sure that you go in and you take a look at the rubric for the assignment. And so looking at the assignment description, looking at the rubric, and then also this video, it really should prepare you for writing this final essay. Now our topic is on who or what is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. And it is likely that Shakespeare had a number of things in mind. So let's get into the assignment just in a little more detail. So your essay topic deals with the question of who or what is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. We covered that. You really are looking at how plot points fit together to create causes and effects. And this is kind of an aspect of literary analysis, but it also helps you to get into plot and get into understanding maybe some of what Shakespeare was trying to get across in terms of what are the causes for particular types of actions. As I mentioned, it's likely that Shakespeare wanted us to see that there are many causal factors leading to the deaths of Romeo and Juliet, not just one. And all of these things kind of work together and snowball together to create the final conclusion. But your job is to focus in on one or two of these causes and then find evidence in the movie and or the play. So some of you have been reading the play and others of you have just been watching the movie. You can deal with one or both in your essay. And so you'll want to show evidence that portrays that causal factor. Now, evidence may be in the form of dialogue or plot points. So if you're looking for evidence, this isn't like scientific evidence. This is literary or textual evidence. And in one case, we have a movie as our text. I have quotation marks going up around that. And in the other case, we have the text of the play. Now, this is a short essay. The minimum requirement is that you write 4 paragraphs, so that would be an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Now, honors contract students should write 5 paragraphs, and then each paragraph should be at least 5 sentences long. For honors, you want your paragraphs to be at least 6 sentences long. Here's a little more on the assignment. Now you may choose from among the provided topics. You'll find those topics right in that assignment description on Canvas. You'll also see them here. You can also create your own. You can choose one of the topics. You can also switch it up a bit. So if you choose one of those topics and you kind of switch things around a little bit, there's no need to get approval from me. However, if you create an entirely new topic, you will need to get that approved. I am not interested in just an analysis of the story itself. We want to get into this question of who or what is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. Again, getting into understanding causes and effects. If you do choose your own, make sure you just send that to me in a message in Canvas, outline your topic, and I'll let you know if it's okay. It probably will be, but I just want to make sure that I'm not getting an essay that's just about summary or about something that's not related to our topic. All right, so let's talk about topics. So for topic 1, once again, you're going to choose one of these topics. Don't think that you have to do all of them. Please pick one, and then once again, you can pick one and change it up, or you can create your own. So first one, some say that hate is responsible for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet, while others say that love is responsible. This topic would allow you to make an argument that either love or hate is primarily responsible for the deaths of the two lovers. And then you would use evidence from the movie or text of the play to make your argument. And you might divide up your essay by topic. So you might have a first paragraph that shows the love between Romeo and Juliet, and maybe the second paragraph might be the love between Juliet's parents or the parents and Romeo and Juliet. So there are a number of ways to do that. Now, you could also argue that both love and hate are responsible. One body paragraph could deal with love and another could deal with hate. So this is just an example of how you might mix it up a little bit and not just take this exactly the way it's presented. All right, topic 2. Tragic heroes and heroines have fatal flaws. You may recall that's also called hamartia. And the fatal flaws that lead to their downfalls. Now, of course, in a tragedy, a downfall leads to death. So both Romeo and Juliet can be seen as tragic heroes. Choosing either Romeo or Juliet, you're going to talk about their tragic flaw or flaws and how that flaw or flaw leads to his or her downfall. Remember, downfall ultimately culminates in death. You're going to use evidence from the movie or text of the play to make your argument. Now for this one, you're going to want to provide some background information, probably in that introductory paragraph that establishes the character as a tragic hero. You may need to go back to your notes or the tragic hero where we talked about tragedy in the video presentation. That was a couple weeks ago. All right, so topic 3. This is where we're talking about chance or luck. There are many instances of chance or luck that might contribute to the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. And you're going to show some examples of chance or luck. So you might think, oh, if this hadn't happened, then that wouldn't have happened. Or, oh, as luck would have it, this timing was just in a particular way. And if this particular thing hadn't happened, then none of this would have occurred this way. So you're going to look for any number of those things. And how does chance or luck contribute to the deaths of Romeo and Juliet? And once again, you're using evidence from the movie or text. For this one, you're going to need to get a good feel for particular plot points and how they relate to the overall story. Now, this recommendation I'm going to make for this particular topic applies to everybody. I would go back and take a look at the answers that you put together for the quiz. If you took the quiz 3 times, you'll be able to see those answers. I won't be able to post those answers because there are still people taking those quizzes. So if you have any questions about particular plot points, I'm happy to answer those in a Canvas message. Topic 4. There are many indications in Romeo and Juliet that the deaths of Romeo and Juliet are meant to be. That is, fate or destiny. Fate or destiny plays a role in their deaths. We learned about this in the prologue, and there are some references to fate and destiny in the prologue, but there are other references throughout the play, mostly in things that people say. So this is going to be one of those instances where you won't be able to just be general about your descriptions of things. You're going to need to actually get into the dialogue a little bit. So if you need to get into the movie, you think, oh, I think Romeo may have said something before he went to the party where he was concerned about things were not meant to go well. You might have to re-listen to that little bit and see if that supports your contention about fate or destiny. You may also look at the text of the play. Various characters seem to recognize fate as a controlling force. Mostly we're hearing Romeo and Juliet do this, but we have other characters make mention of fate as a controlling force as well. Sometimes this happens through foreshadowing. So if a character is saying, oh, I think things aren't going to go well, or what's going to happen, this might be an indication that they're talking about fate. And then once again, you're going to look at what evidence that you can find that Shakespeare meant to portray the deaths of the two main characters as fate or destiny using evidence from the movie or play. Now, for this one, you could pick one character to focus on. For example, you might find things that Juliet says that give indications of fate, or you might find examples of some things that Romeo says, or you might pick another character. But you're looking for particular lines. In order for us to get at what Shakespeare meant, we need to look at Shakespeare's words. All right, topic 5. We've talked about this one a little bit in the last quiz. Many observers blame the Capulet and Montague families for the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. Particularly, they blame the actions of the young people's parents. What are some ways that Romeo and Juliet's parents are responsible for their children's deaths? So, and then once again, you're looking for specific examples. So you might have one paragraph dedicated to Romeo's parents and another paragraph dedicated to Juliet's. Or if you're writing 5 paragraphs, you might have one on each set, each family, and then something where they're both, things that they both do. That could be a third body paragraph. So I've gone over that. You might also argue that one set of parents is more at fault than the other. We see more of Juliet's parents than we do of Romeo's parents, and so some of that will probably play into this. You do need to be specific about what the characters say and do. All right, topic 6. The hero and heroine in Romeo and Juliet have many faithful friends and advisors. For example, needed there. Romeo has Mercutio, Benvolio, Balthasar, and Friar Lawrence. And then Juliet also has her faithful friends and advisors. So her faithful friends and advisors might be nurse. We also have relatives. So Juliet could also have Tybalt. So how does the friend or advisor contribute to the death or hero of the heroine? Again, you can add in a family member there as well. All right, for this one, you could pick 2 or 3, so you don't have to pick just one. You could pick a couple of different relatives, advisors, or friends, and then deal with each of those in a paragraph. And then lastly, topic 7. This is where, if you'd like, you can come up with your own topic. There are other possibilities. Maybe if you wanted to deal with why Romeo and Juliet were the cause of their own problems, maybe you would want to do that, but maybe not focus on their fatal flaw. However, I think that's a good idea to focus on their fatal flaw, since it is a tragedy. But there might be another outside force, for example. We've talked about chance and luck, and we've talked about fate, and we've talked about love and hate. There might be something else going on, some other phenomenon that might be the cause, or there might be some particular person, or maybe there's an interaction of events or people that you want to talk about. So, so long as it relates to the overall theme, or feel free to choose that and submit that. All right, so let's talk about essay requirements. This is lined out specifically in the assignment description, so take a look at that again. I suggest reading that assignment description several times. Also, take a look at the rubric for the assignment because all of these requirements are laid out there, exactly what you'll need to do to get certain points. So here's a little overview. Your essay needs an introduction, so an introductory paragraph. It needs to have an effective topic sentence, and it needs to have clear background information about the general topic and your specific topic. So you're going to be talking about Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. You want to make sure you include that in there. If you're going to be talking about a specific topic, you're going to want to introduce that. So if you're talking about fate or chance, you're going to want to talk about, well, what is that? And what's some general information about that? Okay. Make sure that your introduction has a claim or thesis. This goes at the end of the introduction, so it's the last sentence in the introductory paragraph. We want to make sure that that claim clearly defines your main points and your main argument. So if you're making two main points, let's say about how the role that fate plays, you want to make sure that you tell the reader what those two main points are. All right. Body paragraphs. So it's a short essay. So the minimum requirement, so non-honor, so the minimum requirement is that you have 2 body paragraphs. So you'd be dealing with 2 main points. Honors, make sure you've got 3. Each body paragraph should deal with a separate point that relates to your claim. You want to refer back to that claim and make it very clear what your paragraph is about. That means it needs to have a clear topic sentence. It needs to have evidence that supports your point. So you're going to have examples from the text. The main part of this whole essay is going to be in those examples. You're going to have clear transitions. Each paragraph should also have a concluding sentence that brings the paragraph back to its main point and refers back to the claim. So each paragraph should kind of be its own self-contained little unit, at least to some extent. All right. You also want to have a conclusion. I didn't put that in there, but you also want to have a conclusion. Your conclusion needs to sum up your main points and provide a satisfying end to your essay. All paragraphs need to be at least 5 sentences long. For honors, your paragraph should be 6 sentences long. So this is a short essay. If you want to write more, that's fine, but understand I have to read 108 essays. So see what you can do to keep your paragraphs to 6 sentences long, but for a minimum of 5. Your essay needs to have at least 2 specific references to the movie or text of the play. So when I say specific, we're not talking about general things that happen. I want you to talk about specific actions, specific things that characters say and do. And I'll be looking for those. Honors, you need to have at least 3 of those specific references. So kind of think of that as at least 1 specific reference per body paragraph. Those references should specifically describe the scene in the movie and the characters involved. Quotations from the movie are encouraged, so you're going to have to go back and maybe look at some parts or even look up specific dialogues. So it's going to take a little bit of research, but that's how you find evidence. And research in this case, it's only looking at the movie and or play. So please don't do any other outside research. Don't go to websites and find this information. Find it yourself. Find it yourself in the text or in the movie. All right. More general stuff. References to the text of the play should include the citation of the act, scene, and line numbers. There are a few of you who are going to be writing your essay directly from the text of the play, so make sure that you do that. And I have the instructions for how to do that in the assignment description, so take a look at that. Your plot points should be described using the present tense rather than the past tense. So this means when you're describing something that happens in the play, you say Romeo goes to see Juliet versus Romeo went to see Juliet. That is the present tense rather than the past tense. Why? This is fiction. If you were talking about something that actually happened in history, you would use the past tense. Your essay should be written in the third person, so you're not using you or I. This isn't about your, in a casual sense, your personal take on things, although you're bringing that into it, but you are writing that in the third person. So I don't want to see you or I, because the third person is a more objective tone and a more professional academic tone. You're going to be using standard English. Please do not use text speak or conversational style. This is not a conversation that you're having with your little brother or your best friend. This is formal academic writing. I will take points off for not observing this, okay? Proofread for spelling and grammatical errors. I'm not going to catch you up on every little grammatical error, but there are a few that I'm really going to be paying attention to. Spelling is one. There's no excuse for not running a spell check, you guys. Make sure you take care of that. Here are the things I'm really going to be looking for. Make sure you've got complete sentences. That means your sentences start with a capital letter and they end with punctuation. At minimum, they have a subject and a verb, and they need to convey a complete thought. Make sure you capitalize all names. You're going to be dealing with names in this. I will be looking for that. All right, you will need to submit your essay in MLA format. So you're going to have to go back and remind yourself what MLA format is. And you can do that by going right to the document that I provide you in the assignment description. And I'm going to be able to just click on it right here. And you can see right here, we've got that, that document. And I've put it together for Romeo and Juliet. So make sure you use this document. And I'll show you how to do that title block, as well as some of the other things that you're going to need for MLA. All right. So essay should be in Times New Roman 12-point font, double-spaced. You should have page numbers with your last name in the upper right-hand corner of your paper. You should have a title block with your name, date, and other required information. You can get that right in the MLA for Romeo and Juliet document that I provided for you. And that your paper should have a title centered on that page. On the page, your title shouldn't be Romeo and Juliet essay. Please make your title specific to your topic so that your reader will get an indication what your essay is about in a more specific sense. All right. Turning in your paper. So you're going to write your paper in Google Docs. You're going to submit your paper through Canvas. You're going to use the assignment that I provided for you to do that. You're going to just put that URL right in the screen that I provide for you. And you're going to get that URL. You're going to go to share in your document, and you're going to allow anyone at Grand County High School with a link to edit the document. You're going to take that link and put it right in the URL screen. If you're having trouble with that, please let me know and I can help you. You want to turn in your complete paper by May 18th at midnight. If you do that, if you turn it in on or before the deadline, you will receive 10 extra credit points. That's a 2-letter grade increase on your paper, so please do that. The one reason I'm encouraging you is to do that, one, is so you can be done with English by May 18th. But also, I don't want to get a bunch of essays turned in late that I have to scramble at the end and spend my entire weekend when school is over grading papers. So please get those in. It takes me a long time to get through them and get those extra credit points. If I didn't make that clear enough, here you are again. Your essay is due on May 18th. If you get it turned in on before that, you will get 10 extra credit points automatically without doing anything else. All right. Well, hopefully this has been really helpful for you. Remember, take a look at the assignment description, read it through a couple of times, take a look at the rubric, and then you should be prepared to write your essay. Also, make sure that you are doing the brainstorming and planning for your essay. I'm not requiring a draft for this, but you'll want to write a draft and then make sure that you revise and edit that draft and proofread it. If you can, have someone else take a look at it. They can point out some of those errors for you that you might miss because you get used to looking at your own stuff and you think it says something and it might not. All right. Thanks, you guys. If you have any questions, send me a message through Canvas, and I will try to get back to you the same day you send the message, if it's Monday through Friday. All right. Thanks, guys. Just as a note, why did I use this particular slideshow template? It was named Tybalt, and I just felt like that was needed. So I should have mentioned that at the beginning. All right, you guys. We'll talk to you later.